One. This is Shaney Entertaining coming to you live from Toronto, Canada, home of the NBA champions, the Raptors. That's me That's me listening to myself, guys. So just trying to think, see how the sound is, and it sounds all right. Doesn't sound half bad. Doesn't sound half bad. So let me get set up, guys, for this brand new discussion I shall be having today. Sorry, guys, for people who were here last time I did a live stream. I deleted it. I deleted it because at some point it got really heavy into topics that my channel doesn't normally discuss. And while I do believe it was a necessary discussion to have, and I do like the discussion we had, it did get a bit heavy and too heavy for my channel. And I couldn't stand the weight of it all. So I deleted it. But here's the thing. It did make me think about starting a new channel where we could discuss these things, because I do think a lot of that stuff is important. Frontman 242, how you doing, sir? How's everybody feeling tonight? That's just super. So since I got a good contingency here to get started, so that's good, guys. Don't forget to like. So on the bottom, helps out the channel a little bit. I leave a comment if you guys want to. Rhodes Rants, hey sir, long see no time. Sorry, but I have been in and out of YouTube lately. Even on my own channel, I haven't been doing too much. A lot of work to be done and not enough time to do it. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start off pretty strong. I want to talk about why I decided to make this Arcane Arcade. I understand I wasn't there whenever this happened, but this is your channel. I'm curious that this topic themselves were, but no problem if not. Yeah. Well, what happened last time was we just got into topics about politics, and and as much as I don't mind talking about politics, and it's fine, that's not what my channel is about. And there is a place for everything, and I do believe that I don't mind speaking about it once in a while, but that's not what this is about. So today, guys, here's the thing. Yeah, well, I know. life and YouTube if only life and YouTube could get together somehow and become one balance of the force. Yes. So here's the deal, guys. Reason I wanted to talk about this topic about the Fandom Menace is that I saw on Jesse Milestone's hey Guy Harrison, Black Cat Cinephile, what's up, guys? Glad to see you guys are all here. So I saw on Jesse Milestone's Twitter feed, somebody was ranting at her and called out everybody in the Fandom Menace, pretty much calling, just pretty much went off on the Fandom Menace, basically ranting, saying that we're ruining the franchises, we should all go to hell, and all that sort of stuff. Now, your initial reaction to that sort of thing is like, screw you, buddy, you don't know what you're talking about. And just like leaving it up to him being a whack job, right? Because he sounded kind of crazy in the first place. I mean, anybody who just his whole rant was pretty weird. I don't know if you want to check it out. Go check it out on Twitter. I don't know if it's still up or not, but it was a while ago. But it still got me thinking about all this, and I wanted to discuss the merits of what he said, because is there truth to this? Is there truth to any of this? And even if there is truth to it, does it matter? And so that's kind of what I wanted to discuss this, because the question is, at this stage, guys, people who are fans of Star Wars, people who are fans of Star Trek or Game of Thrones or whatever the heck we're fans of, Twitter, Harrison says, Twitter is full of twits. It sure is. You can't spell twit Twitter without twit. Kenny and Johnson killed Star Wars. Well, yeah, I mean, Star Wars. I mean, that's what I'm going to get at, guys. Is that did we kill Star Wars, or was Star Wars already dead? And that's the thing that these guys sort of have to realize. Now, here's the thing: these guys are coming from an emotional standpoint of people who either liked what Kathleen Kennedy did, and or apologists for it because they just want to like it no matter what. We speak the truth and express the dissatisfaction with this piece of garbage called Star Wars. We shall not be silenced. We shall not be silenced. No, and you have every right to be angry. We do have every right to be angry. And here's what I'd say is this. The right to be angry is one thing, and we do. We should definitely voice our opinion, and there's nothing wrong with that. And the people who love this franchise for whatever reason that I can't fathom, or even Star Trek or anything else that just want us to be quiet because they want to sit there and enjoy their beloved Star Wars. I have this to say to them. And here's the question. Would this Star Wars, the ones that these people supposedly like, or have taken to, would this Star Wars exist if it had not been for the fans? I mean, the original fans of the series. Because here's the thing. Why did Disney buy it? Why did Disney buy a franchise that hadn't seen a movie since, the early 2000s? I mean, when was the last Star Wars movie before Disney bought it? And who kept the Star Wars franchise alive during that whole period of time? You know what I'm saying? It was the hardcore fans. It was the old timer fans that were buying the books, that were buying all the shirts, that were keeping the merchandise running. That made it a lucrative property in the first place. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Going to Frontman 242. So we're the ones who kept this thing alive, right? It was the old time fans, the ones that were really bothered and insulted by this movie, that actually kept this movie in this franchise alive. And all these franchises, and I'm not just talking about Star Wars, I'm talking about Star Trek, I'm talking about anything you can talk about, like whether it's She-Ra, whether it's He-Man movie, which is going to come out in a couple of years, that movie, whether it's Transformers, whatever it is, it was the old fans that kept this thing going. Those sweet pesos. Exactly. It was us that gave them the sweet pesos. And that's the thing. So who do those? And so these movies were pretty much the movie that these guys love were only in existence because we were the ones that sort of made it happen. So why were they catering to us? Not even catering to us, because they weren't really catering to us. Let's not misunderstand what I'm saying. They're not actually catering to us. They're actually using us. So they were there. So Disney bought the brand because the brand was lucrative due to us. Oh yeah, Doctor Who, Men in Black. You can make a list. Go make a list of all the crap. Game of Thrones. Yeah, I mean, it's all there. All of these movies, everything. But it's all done because here you have us, the fans of these properties, the people who kept this thing running, the people who were like the engine pulling this thing forward. Without, I mean, there was how many Star Trek movies and shows were there before, like since the end of TNG or Voyager? How many movies were there? After Contact, or no, it wasn't Contact. What was the last one? I can't remember. The one where Data passes away. That one upset me. Anyway, we kept those things alive. I think Star Wars fans, from Rose Rant says, from both sides have scared off potential good candidates to replace Kathleen Kennedy. I believe they go no way. They go no way. Those fans, again, both sides can't be satisfied. You have a great point. See, that's what I like about these discussions, Rhodes. You bring up a very good point. And that's kind of where I was going with a lot of this, was that we have a right to get angry. They are using us. They are using our brand. They're using the brand recognition, and they're using our nostalgia to bring us into the seats. But then once we get there, they're putting the old switcheroo on us, and they're doing whatever the heck they want. They're getting people who are running these franchises who don't care about the franchises, don't really like the franchises, want almost as if they have a thing against these franchises to be on the first place. Why doesn't Disney buy Star Trek? Oh God. comparison. Why doesn't Disney buy Shaney Entertaining? Don't give Mickey any ideas. He's going to buy Shaney Entertaining, and I'm going to hear Mickey Mouse every day telling me what to do. I don't want to hear you talking anymore against my company. Screw you. You work for me now, buddy. Because that's the next step for Mickey. He's going to buy Shaney Entertaining. He's going to buy the Fandom Menace. And let's see. That'd be an interesting discussion to have, guys. Who out of the Fandom Menace would sell out to Disney? That's the question. We're talking about shills. I mean, it's easy to sit here and talk all kinds of crap, but then when real money flashes in front of your face, and Disney starts bringing, Mickey Mouse walks in your door with a briefcase full of cash, well, hey, you want some Disney dollars? Click, click. Opens up a briefcase and starts throwing money at you. Here, does this make you change your mind? I don't care what you do, Mickey. I'm never going to bow down to you and be a shill. All about $50 million. Does that change your mind? $50 million. I'd name my kid Mickey Mouse and Ryan Johnson. But that's not going to happen, guys. I'll tell you that much. 50 million is a lot of payola. But anyway, well, it is. I mean, these are shills that are getting paid by. I mean, these guys are even worse. The shills that I see. They just get pissed off because they don't get to go to they don't get to go to the openings of these movies. And I mean, they're cheap. I mean, these guys are cheap. They're cheap whores because they don't even hold out for the 50 mil. They're just going on the free tickets to Disneyland, and then getting pissy when they don't get there. We're not going to name names, guys, but who was all upset about what during that time? Sir Ruin of the House of Roundhead. Little Johnson Jr. No. Little Johnson Jr.'s taken. I'll let you guys use your imagination on that one. But the thing is this. Like Rhodes Rants just said, the fact that nobody competent and capable are in line to take on these franchises could be a concern for those who want this fixed. And so there is a balance. There is something to be had here because we definitely have to voice our opinion. We definitely need to let them know that we can't take this and we're not standing for this any longer, right? But at the same time, oh my God, you see, so Arcade said, okay, you see the Collider shill who broke down after not being invited to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. That's what I meant. I forgot his name. I don't really care for his name. Collider. I don't even watch Collider, so I don't know anything about them, to be honest. Fake Plinkets. Yes, I saw him. Fake Plinkets. He's great. He's actually really funny. I almost sympathize with him to an extent because, I mean, he did all that shill work and yet he got nothing for his troubles. And sort of like, it's almost like, screw you, you deserve what you get. But at the same time, you feel like, I hope it's a message to all the other shills. But it just proves that they're all shills. That's what it proves. And I loved it because it just proved that they were all shills. And it just shows you, even when he said in his interview or whatever, he said that, I get called a shill all the time and not to deal with all that, so you already know that you're being called a shill and you know that you are a shill. But anyway, the point is, again, what I'm trying to say is here we are, a group of maligned fans. And I mean maligned because it's not that just they gave us a bad movie. Okay. I went through bad movies of franchises that I love. I'm a Transformers fan, for heaven's sakes. Hello. I love the Transformers. Okay. So I've dealt with bad movies that I love from franchises that I love, but I didn't get angry the way I got angry with this. And that's due to the fact that Star Wars wasn't just a bad movie. It was a bad movie. And Star Trek either. I'm putting that in the same category. Star Wars and Star Trek weren't just bad movies. They were offensive to the fans. They're and outwardly offensive. They weren't even pretending to not be offensive. See, the people running these things used our nostalgia to launch this again because that's what they wanted. Just like Galaxy's Edge. I mean, how blatant could that be? Where I told people in the last video I did, where I was telling people that Galaxy's Edge pranced out, all these old timers from our generation to watch this, to go see it, and then gave us nothing recognizable in the park other than the Millennium Falcon, who was doing. And then when you go in the Millennium Falcon, you're there doing Smuggler's Run, something that came from Solo, like a movie nobody really. I mean, that failed. It didn't even give us anything from the time that we remember. I love anything Asylum releases, and these are the worst of all. Asylum. And we have to like get together and really analyze what we're doing here, because what is the end goal to this? And that's the whole thing I think we kind of lose track on. And that's what I think Rhodes Rants was saying. What is the end game here? What do we want to see happen? If we want to see this franchise fail, I mean, completely fail, then, you know, or do we want to see this franchise repaired? And let's be honest with ourselves. I'm not just this franchise. I'm talking about all of these franchises, all of them. Do these people have not just the motivation, but do they have the motivation to make it succeed? I mean, I believe they want it to succeed, but I don't think they have the understanding on how to make these things succeed. And I don't think that these people, and I think that all this rage is actually confusing the matter even more, because like you said, Rhodes, it's a great point. Nobody wants to take over. I think Michelle Rejwan was named SVP of New Action because nobody wants the job. I think Filoni and Favreau both have turned down executive offers. Too late, brother, too late. Frontman 242, Black Hat Cinefile, Data died, and yeah, Nemesis. That's right, Nemesis was the one. I don't know why I had a hard time remembering Nemesis. No, it wasn't Nemesis, was it? Yes, it was Nemesis. Yeah, it was the one where Picard fought Picard. Rhodes Rants. Abrams just went to Warner, and Iger offered J.J. Kennedy's job last summer. He said, hell no. Yeah, and, well, I mean, even J.J. Do we want J.J. running the show? I mean, that's the question. Do we even want J.J. running the show? I mean, I liked what he did in the first, sort of. I mean, again, I don't know how much of this was JJ's decisions to copy A New Hope, or if it was the Disney decision to do it. But all I know is, regardless of whose decisions it is, whether it's Kathleen Kennedy's agenda, whether it's Rian Johnson's decisions, whether it's J.J. Abrams, or whether it's Iger's decisions, whoever is making, or it's just boardroom thinking and corporate mindset, because or is it all, everything, all of it at once, all combining together to make this disaster, these disasters, right? And I think that's really what it is. It's a combination of all this leading to these disasters. That's why it's so hard to fix. That's why when we talk about actual repair jobs, so when we get angry like Doomcock, and we sit there going, without respect, we reject. And I agree with him. Without respect, we should reject. But we shouldn't. But is there actually any hope to actually think that these people have what it takes to fix? Because I just reject all offhand, because at this point, I'm like, I don't really have hope for any of these franchises going forward. I completely gave up on Star Trek. I watched the first season of Discovery, and I said, this isn't Star Trek. This is an affront. It's a farce to anything that J.J. Abrams, that what's his name, the creator of Star Trek. Why do names always go in my ear and out the other? Gene Roddenberry. It's affront to anything he put forth in his vision for the series. And if you're not even going to go and follow the vision of Star Trek and what it means, and it's not Star Trek, you can just slap. And that's what all these franchises are to me. They're nothing but a giant. They're like Pet Sematary. We just buried all these franchises in the Pet Sematary, and they were revived. But they weren't revived with the same soul. They were revived with some demonic soul, just out to suck your money. Money, right? Using our nostalgia. They didn't even need to advertise. Our nostalgia does it for them. Our fan theories, which they told us to go F off with, you know, they don't mean anything to them, but it does, because our fan theories is what, you know, advertised that movie for all those years, kept it going. City, enough said. Man, just watched Oats Studios on YouTube. Oats Studios. I'm not sure what Oats Studios is. Just what? Oh, just watch Oat Studios. Sorry, you're asking me to. I thought you were telling me you were watching Oat Studios. Okay, I'll check them out. Leave a link on the bottom for me. I think, guys, that I really think that in my mind right now, and I'm looking at these people who are, you're going to ruin my franchise, and I'm like, you guys like this, and that's fine, okay? But you have to understand the reason we don't like this is because we were being used and manipulated to get this in the first place. Okay, if we weren't being used and manipulated in the first place, this would have never been made. So the reason this got made was because we were being manipulated to get on into the seats. Had you came out and told us right away, we're going to change Star Wars, it's going to be this, it's going to be all this. If they had come out and said right off the bat what they were planning to do with Star Wars, without all this and what J.J. Abrams did in the first, by tugging at our nostalgia, by rehashing a lot of the plot lines that we recognize, and then leaving these gaps, those boxes. Arcade said, with all these franchises going woke and now it being undisputed that they will go broke, we then have conclude that their message and agenda is more important to the indoctrinate the masses in Arcane, and then that makes more money. That's my conclusion, honestly. Well, that's what makes the most sense if you really look at it. That the message is more important to an extent, and I guess we're gonna have to really see, because we haven't seen enough evidence of that. As much as I do think you probably might be right on that. However, I want to see evidence by what happens. See, here's the thing: if people go to see episode 9. Despite all of this, we'll never know. We'll never know, because if they make money off of episode 9, we're just never going to understand. We're not going to know whether or not they're out for just the agenda, because we still keep handing these guys money. As far as I'm concerned, episode 9 could be great, but it doesn't change Luke. It doesn't change what broke. It doesn't change those things. And as a movie in and itself, that's fine. But what really upset me the most about the Last Jedi, I mean, which a lot of things did upset me, but I think I would have been a lot more forgiving about a lot of these things had they just not done what they did to Luke Skywalker, and what they did to Leia, and what they did to Akbar. I mean, what they did to all the old characters. They pretty much spit in our face with that, and that I took personally. I can understand a bad movie. I can get upset about it. I can say it sucks, but when you're outwardly and not even being hiding it, it's just you're outwardly just spitting in my face, calling me, saying we're no longer wanted anymore, and then yet still pander to us to keep us going to the seats. What are you trying to do? It's mixed messages, and then when we don't like and we voice our opinion, we're toxic, we're sexist, we're prejudiced, all this crap, and it's like. But yet still stop using them franchises that we like if you don't want us to get upset about it, And so that's what I mean by these guys who are so into this new Star Wars and then are so angry that we're angry about it. And now, again, is there a level where we go too far? If you were top 10 exec in film, would you leave a job for Lucasfilm? Wouldn't 3 sets of fans, Aurelos, hate someone? Okay. I know what you're trying to say. Basically, if you were a top executive, would you leave Lucas? Would you leave your cushy job to fix Lucasfilm if you had a bunch of angry, resentful fans that seem to be unworthy of pleasing? And that's kind of what we're looked like, to them, to us. And here's the thing: even amongst us, there is disagreements. Even amongst what we consider to be the Fandom Menace. There are disagreements in how we do it. I've always been a guy that if there's something to complain about, I will complain about it. If there's nothing to complain about, then I don't want to advertise for these people. I'm not here. I did a Galaxy's Edge live stream because I saw it. I went on my headset, my PS4, and there's a walkthrough in VR, and I did it. And I looked at it going, this doesn't resemble Star Wars or give me any sort of nostalgic feeling of Star Wars. Like, what the heck is this? What are they doing? And I voiced my opinion on that. I'm assuming you saw the actor Akbar cried his last days of filming because of disrespect and killing him off screen. Beluga, worst treatment of any. Well, yeah. And I mean, isn't Joan Boyega now speaking out against it, by the way? I heard something. SC Reviews did something on that. See, assuming like we kind of have to understand one thing. Like, we can go too far. Fans can go too far, and the outrage that we see, is it outweighing? I mean, no. I mean, the outrage is legit. I mean, it does. Like I said, there's been bad movies before, but this was a personal attack. And here's the thing: if Ryan Johnson also didn't come out on Twitter, almost like a complete troll, which he is. We know he's a troll, but making matters worse, and that's even more completely unfathomable, is that how he couldn't even can you imagine a sports franchise coming out and say and the ownership telling that to the fans of a sports franchise, where the coach comes out or the GM comes out of the franchise of a shitty season, the fans are in uproar, they're booing, throwing their jerseys on the ice, and then after the season, the fans get upset, and he just says, "Your stupid expectations are what's wrong with your mood. With your expectations of our team is what's wrong. You guys stupid," and just started, taking shots at us. That guy, that GM wouldn't be fired like crazy because they understand the importance of fans in sports. Whereas I don't seem to think that these artists in Hollywood seem to think that their art is more important. Big shots are too egomaniacal to realize we're their boss. Exactly, 100%, which is what I pretty much just said. I'll direct next as Star Wars for $10 per hour. I'm sure you would. I'd do it for free. The only people I see liking the new Star Wars is children who don't know any better. Paid shills. We don't have shills with the original Star Wars, do we? I have literally been told, 1, I am not angry enough. 2, I am too angry in our own community. It's just bizarre. It's like, what the F? Arcane, I said, haha, sports analogy spot on. Sports analogies usually are. Okay. Yeah, big shots are egomaniacal, but here's the thing too: artists are egomaniacal. As an artist, I know this. A lot of artists don't want to compromise their integrity for their what they perceive their art or their vision or their messages for money at times, or not even for money, but to they don't like to be told what to do, and that's an obvious thing. But here's the problem: is that usually artists work on their own crap. I mean, hey man, if you feel like you want to go do something and you have a message to say, and you want to start from scratch and build your own franchise, then go ahead and do it. And I have nothing, if you want to talk and give all these messages and whatever you want in your own franchise, go and do it. But don't take something else. Don't take somebody else's work and then take a hot dump on it and then claim it's yours or your vision. Screw you. Your vision. And that's a big problem too, because I think one of the issues is Hollywood isn't giving these guys a chance to show their vision because they're too busy needing us, these old time fans in the seat so that they can make the guaranteed money. And also, like I've said, another ones like the franchise money, like the money that comes along from merchandise and get your merchandise here. That's really what they want. So, so that's why they go with these old things. And these so it's like a conflict between the artists and us, the fans, and the corporates. So also let me go to Rose Rants and our little community. Yes, our community is no better than their communities from what I'm seeing. I mean, in some ways it isn't, because see, I think we're more in our community. I think we're more understandable, and I think we look more into their community. Well, I think theirs is just completely blinded. They won't even open up to see the other side. And I think the reason that is because I think a lot of us wanted to like these things. That's the difference that they don't understand. I think that they don't get that we actually aren't haters. We are more like disillusioned lovers. You know, we love Star Wars, we love Star Trek, we loved Game of Thrones, we loved these franchises, and we didn't want to go into these things hating them. Well, why would we? We spent good money to go see the movies. I spent good money on toys and paraphernalia and things. Why would I want to hate this? It doesn't make any sense. I try to fight my own urge to like it. I mean, to hate it in order to like it, so that I could find a way to keep liking it. But when they do something so blatant that is such a personal attack that you can't ignore, then you have to look at that. And that's what really has gone on. We've been personally attacked. My groin's black and blue. And it wasn't like that before I went in to see The Last Jedi. At least not that I can remember. But it's the truth. And we're here consistently now blocking ourselves with jock straps in every movie we go watch now. Because we're being told we're garbage, we're men, we're toxic, we're this, we're sexist, and you can't escape from it anymore. Commercials are doing it to us. We can't escape from any of this anymore. And it's just gotten worse and worse, and they're not. The Batwoman is the worst thing I've ever seen. It's like I thought Brie Larson's stuff was bad. The Captain Marvel, there was a whole other level that I didn't realize could be reached until I saw the trailers for Black Cat, Catwoman, Batwoman, Almighty Chupacabra. Hey Shani, how's it going? I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad you guys are watching this, because we all have to have this discussion at some point. I would accept the job to fix Star Wars because I know I can. Smiley could fix it better than me because he knows more about it, but I could do it just by having better ideas than theirs. Frontman 242, Conviction, the Anthem trailer for Neil Blomkamp. I think a lot of Star Wars fans could do a better job at the ideas. I've seen so many fans with theories that were great, with ideas far superior, a lot of them. I mean, once upon a time, I asked everybody, because I wanted to do my own version of Star Wars and fix it. Remember, I did that in the beginning. I did a bunch of those, and I asked people to send me their ideas, and I combined a bunch of ideas, and I acted it out. You know, and there was some brilliant stuff there. There's a lot of brilliant stuff. I think we, as fans who understand the property, we could do a much better job in all of this stuff. When I'm not even just talking Star Wars. I'm talking about all the stuff, to Game of Thrones, all of it. As fans, we can come up with better ideas. The problem is that when you have this person with an idea, and then you have this person you have this person with his ideas, and then you have this person here with an agenda, and then you have this person here with a bunch of money that he has to get, that people have to have. So we have to have Coke mentioned, or we have to have him. He has to wear this shirt at this period of time in the movie. He's got to say these lines because of this. You know, it's a convoluted process in making movies now, that we don't want to anger this group. Now we don't want to anger this group. And it's no longer about actually making something good. It's about not making something bad. And that's what I feel. That's what I fear the most that's happening with Star Wars now. I think they don't care about making a good movie. I think they care about just not making a bad movie. And I think that's the whole point, is like, that's why you're getting even Marvel. All you're getting now are these blah movies, these movies that are just sort of, that's okay. It was all right. And even other movies like Godzilla and stuff, it's just, they don't, in order to make a good movie, you got to take some risks. And I'm not talking about the stupid risks Rian Johnson took. I'm talking about marginal risks, to an extent, not risks to actively alienate, half of your audience, which he set out to do, right? Arcane Arcade. It's not a job for us. They do enough to make the shareholders and your boss happy and call it a day. I mean, we as fans have to take ownership of a lot of things. We have to take ownership of our responsibility as fans. Our responsibility as fans, yes, we voice our opinion. For damn sure, we got to voice our opinion. One way or the other, we got to voice it. We got to say, hey, man, I'm tired of this shit. I'm not standing for this anymore. But be very clear with it, right? I'm always said be clear and concise with your argument, because to just be a hater for everything is also not good. And that's always been my contention with our side of things with the Fandom Menace, is that a lot of people are using it to fuel their channels. And that's fine, but don't pretend that you're better than them, because if you're using it to find for financial gain, or you're using it just to advertise your channel, this anger and anguish, then what, you're not doing it for the right reasons. And so then you're no better than they are. I mean, because they're doing what they're doing for their reason, and now you're doing what you're doing for your reason, but you're both equally just as fake. But if you have a genuine outrage and you have a genuine problem with certain things, and you actively come out and say things, you know, that are legitimately how you feel, then I have no problem with that. But like, if you're sitting out there now and you're just ranting and raving about everything because it just, it's what's trending, oh, that's the trending. I'm going to do 50 videos about this because it's trending, and I'm going to ride the wave. And that's fine. If that's what your channel is about, go ahead. But I don't consider that honorable, especially when you're trying to create, like, if you're trying to stand, I've always said, if you want to stand on a soapbox, then you got to see things higher, and you got to stand on the high ground, and you got to take the high road. But if you're going to if you want to stand on the, on the ground, and you want to stand on a soapbox, then you should, and you know what I mean? You got to take the high road. If you're not, then you're no better than them. And that's my whole point of this. A lot of guys online on our side, they are legitimately just milking this for everything it's worth, because that's what it, and I did it in the beginning, and then I just said, no, I can't do this anymore, because I'm hearing myself talk about it, and it just makes me sick to talk about it myself. Sigourney Weaver is this one. Oat Studios, Raka, Sigourney Weaver is this one, in this one. Yeah, well, send me the link on the bottom, because afterwards I'll look at it. Front man. Because here's, I don't think, and I do think that if there is a problem getting good quality people to fix this, or to right the ship, then we will always have this problem. But who are these people that we think are going to right the ship? And that's the question. It doesn't matter who you get, and that's where I'm also trying to think. It doesn't matter who you get. You can get Steven Spielberg. You can get Lucas back. But even if they said George Lucas if George Lucas is going to direct the next one, but he's working for Kathleen Kennedy, and he's working for Disney, and he still has to adhere to regular, all these things that they're putting forth, like the agenda, like the this and all the stuff that they have to do. So it kind of makes their vision less, all over the place. And that's what you're having a problem with these movies, because there's no vision anymore. The vision is lost in translation because of all these other external forces that are changing or manipulating the thing. So you can't have, even if you get the right people in place, the right person has to be a person who loves the property. That's the right person. That is the only person, and that person has to be at the top, without anybody else really underneath. I mean, like, it has to be somebody like who's running the show, who has autonomy over the process, and then I think it could work. And the person has to have a vision that he has to have an appreciation for the fans, has to have an appreciation for the actual property. I mean, and I mean not an appreciation. Has to actually, I think, have a love for it, have some kind of respect for it, and respect for the fans. That's why I actually said, I was saying it half jokingly, but I said I would like to see Mark Hamill run the whole show, put him at the top of the heap, because at the very least we know he cares. At the very least we know he knows Star Wars, and he's probably the only guy who I would trust at this point with this franchise. I mean, going forward is Mark Hamill, and I'm talking about at the top. I'm talking about even like Kathleen Kennedy and beyond, like, because I want somebody who runs Lucasfilm, who understands, it's important that the fans like this, the old fans and the new fans, but it's mostly important that the old fans like this, because kids will like anything. And I've said this before, you put a couple of kids running around, lightsabers and ships and cool monsters and creatures. Kids will like it. You don't have to pander to them with porgs. You'll like anything. They'll like any little thing you give them, because kids use their imagination. They're in awe with imagination. And so just the more imagination you have, kids will like it if you use your imagination. I can't even understand how they expect kids to like this bloody farce of a series anyway. There's nothing to latch onto for kids. There's nothing. At least like Boba Fett looked cool. Jabba the Hutt was a fun looking character. It was a weird little blob. There was all these great aliens, and in this franchise has actually nothing of any form of creativity at all. It's just taking what's already been done, rehashing it, and repurposing and rebranding it, and that's all they've done. And kids, they just don't know any better, so they just take it in. But we as fans though, we gotta start standing up for something. And standing up doesn't mean always belligerently yelling and screaming about it. Because at some point we could hurt the franchise. Now, I'm of the mindset that I don't think there's fixing this. I really don't. I mean, the franchise, I think this trilogy is done for me. I don't even care anymore. The characters I don't care about anymore. I don't care what happens to Rey. I don't care what happens to Kylo Ren. I don't care what happens to any of these characters. I've tuned out on this, and I really don't care about these characters. The only characters that I care about are the characters that I grew up with at this point. Black Hat Cinephile, I had Star Wars Theories that got thousands of views, and after The Last Jedi, I stopped haven't made a Star Wars video since Last Jedi, though my Last Jedi complaints probably would have done well. Yeah, I mean, when I complain, I try to keep my complaints towards something relevant. Like I said, if it's happening in the moment and it's relevant to the movie or relevant to what's happening in the future or whatever, it's worth talking about. It's worth a discussion because we care. If we didn't care, we wouldn't talk. And I'm not against talking about Star Wars because I'd be a hypocrite. But I'm talking about what I'm talking about is the consistent, like 3 or 4 videos based on the same topic is what I'm saying. Like, here we go. Let's talk 5 videos about the same reasons why this news story breaks out. We do 1 video, we say our little piece, we move along. But there are guys and there are people out there who will milk 5, 6, 7 videos on the same topic over and over again. Or we'll look for topics. We'll look for, the things that drive me the crazy and want me to pull my hair are things that aren't even topics. Things that are like, an article from this SJW said this about Star Wars, like it matters. Who cares what this article from from this person? Like, now we're giving that article a voice. That article doesn't deserve a voice. Why are we giving these articles a voice? Three Stooges in space. Woo, 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 woo.
Oh, certainly. I was just a victim of Ryan Johnson.
At least that would have been entertaining. Three Stooges. I mean, a knucklehead. But my problem, like, even guys that we see that they do that, they like SC reviews or whatever, and I like SC reviews, and I'm not shitting on it. I actually like the channel, but there's some times where it's just like they'll give voices. It'll drive me crazy. It'll give voices to stupid articles from people who are just crazy people. It's like they're not. Why are we listening to them? Who cares what they have to say? They're just dumb article writers who are doing what we're doing. They're just trying to find these people who are writing these articles. They're just trolling. They're trying to find. They're trying to get us angry at their article to give their article publicity, and you're falling for it every single time by reading all these stupid articles. Oh, there was a new study that shows that if you didn't like The Last Jedi, then you're a sexist. Like, we didn't already hear that. See, but we're giving that a voice now. Now look at me now. I'm giving it a voice. Look at what you gone and done did. We got to stop as that kind of nonsense because I don't like those articles. Those articles aren't about Star Wars. Those articles aren't about The Last Jedi. They're not about fixing it. They're not about any of that. What those articles or what those discussions or what these things are just about clickbait. And that's what these things are. The articles themselves are clickbait, and the people who talk about them are using them as clickbait. And so you're using, people's emotions for your own gain. And if you want to do that, that's fine, but I don't really think you're helping. That's my point. Rhodes Rants, LOL, unfortunately, YouTube is rewarding those kinds of videos with views. Yeah, and that's the problem with that's a whole other live stream is the the qualms I have with YouTube and how they reward certain things over other things. That's a whole nother topic because we can go on for hours about that one. But because like that isn't, because a lot of these channels know that when you're talking about YouTube and you're talking about the algorithms, you got to keep producing. You got to keep producing every day. I got to do 2-3 videos a day. And a guy like SE Reviews, who I like, I'm not trying to shit on SE Reviews. I like SE Reviews. What I'm saying is that I wish he would stop doing that kind of stuff. But he can do whatever the hell he wants. It's his channel, so whatever. I'm just voicing my displeasure with something in the same way he would. Because I don't think he cares. CSE Reviews has never actually come out as a member of the Fandom Menace. He's not even a member, so he can do what he wants. He's just a guy who doesn't like Star Wars. So, and he was never really big on Star Wars in the first place, according to him. So, I mean, it's okay for him because he's not preaching to be part of anything. He's just doing what he wants to do for his channel. And, and that's good for him. He may be below average, but he's doing what the algorithms are supposed to be done. You're supposed to produce as much as you can. So what is he doing? He's going and finding articles. What are the topic that I'm looking for? These people are the niche market that are building my channel. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go and talk because these people want to hear about this stuff, and this is what my channel is being built by. So that's what he's doing, and he's just. And I hate the fact that I pick on other channels, as I normally don't do that, and I'm not trying to crap on him, but I think that I'm using him as an example of the things that I don't like about the Fandom Menace. And he's not really a member of it, but I'm just like guys that use that as every article that comes out has to be an outrage article. There's good things to be said sometimes too, right? And you can't just always just do those outrage videos. And so I really think that there is, and then what that then does is it fuels other people because now other people take these articles, right? That say, what if I like Star Wars, The Last Jedi? That proves through some arbitrary study that somebody did. I'm like, why are we giving credence to that garbage study? Who cares? It doesn't prove anything, and we know that it doesn't prove anything. All that proves is that people are like to follow clickbait, like fish follow worms in a pond. That's what that proves. Not making Star Wars videos was part of my protest. I'm partly out of shock and mourning. Yeah, and I did that for a while too, because I did it for a while and then I stopped making Star Wars videos. But then he kept going back to it because I truly do care. So, but I'm up and down all the time because I like talking about it because it's cathartic. But at the same time, I try to control myself to the point where I don't become just an outward hater for the sake of hating something. But I'm reasonable. I mean, reasonable. My expectations of the series going forward is reasonable. The only thing I kind of hoped for was the new trilogy coming out, because I thought this one was pretty much done, and I was hoping if they started fresh with a new trilogy, maybe then we won't hate it. But now look at who's doing it, and it's the guys who did who shat the pooch on Game of Thrones. So we don't even have that to look forward to anymore. Rose Rants. Honestly, they are only videos that views and subs, and makes doing this hard when I just want to talk Star Wars. All of these things on YouTube make things hard, and that's the problem. Is that, and that's not just with YouTube. That's with everything. It's just like with everything, there are people who are going to look for loopholes, and those loopholes tend to hurt the people who are doing it, for the passion or for the love of it. And that doesn't just stop with YouTube. That's with everything. It's just the nature of people, and it's unfortunate, but we are always rewarding that type of behavior, and because we ourselves also fall for clickbait, and that's what these things. I fall for clickbait all the time, but then sometimes I have to catch myself and say, "Nope, Janie, don't touch that. It's clickbait. You know it is." But I want to know why. What are these articles? But why would he say that? It's clickbait. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. You're going to touch it. And so, did you ever get to see Hebrew Hammer? Sorry, no, I didn't, man. Did you send me a link for that? I don't remember if you did. Please send me a link because I forget things. I'm a forgetful guy. But send me a link for that. I think and I'm glad that we are actually having this discussion here um, because this has to be spoken about. I mean, I think we have to differentiate ourselves. I mean, especially even if we want our voices to actually mean something. I mean, to make one video about Brie Larson and how she's toxic or what she's doing is sexist or whatever, and even two, based on new information or new things. If something new happens, you could talk about it. But to stop to make a million videos on the same topic over and over and over again, it doesn't help the situation. It's hurting the situation because you're acting as a hater. And now our side looks worse by comparison because now they're going to point to those people and say, look, all he does or all that she does is take this and topic and just beat it down and just beating on that dead horse as much as he can. And that's the kind of what in order for our voices to actually be heard or to be understood or to be, because a lot of our actual messages are being lost. Because, I mean, listen, I've read my displeasure, and I made a video the minute I saw that stupid trailer for Batwoman. I made a video with the toys, and that was my displeasure. I made that video, and I think I did another discussion about it. El ever catch zombies movie El Super Bisto? No, I have not, guys. I'm behind in all my movies. But is it a good one? What is that zombies movie? Zombies movie. Is zombies? What is zombies? Let me know what that is. Help Shaney out, like this video. If you read this, take 2 seconds to help him a lot. Help Shaney out. And like, oh, thanks, guys. If you guys want to like this video, go ahead. I appreciate it. See, I went through a period where I was angry and I was sort of disillusioned with YouTube for a long time too, for the same reason that I see a lot of people rising to great lengths by outrage, by fueling outrage, and by being peddlers of outrage and peddlers of anger. And again, if you have anger and you have genuine, like, I have nothing against Doomcock, because Doomcock, when he actually talks about his videos, about the things, he doesn't make 5,000 videos about the same subject. He'll do 4-hour videos about the subject, but that just shows you his anger and his rage. And I have nothing against Doomcock. And Doomcock, puts he doesn't read about articles. He doesn't do that stuff. He talks about real facts and says, okay, well, this is actually what's gone on. This is what happened. And he voices his opinion on it, whether you agree or not. It's irrelevant. It's his opinion. That's why I kind of like Doomcock's like his way of doing it. As far as that is, as far as rage and anger is concerned. Yeah, and he has a voice, and his voice says, without, respect, we reject. And I agree on that 100%. But I also don't agree with him watching the Discovery because he hated it the first season, and I didn't give it even a second look. I missed a huge chance to grow with only like 5 Breeze videos. Most channels were doing 5 a day for a month and blew up like 10 channels in our community. Black Hat Cinephile, I've been very vocal about Last Jedi and comments and stuff. I just didn't have the will to make 30 videos on that chick. Sever Forest of the Dead, a very good zombie flick. Butch Larson got old with a quickness. Okay, it's good. Yeah, I like, voice your opinion any way you wish, Black Hat. That's whatever you feel like doing. It's fine. I mean, as long as you're getting out that rage somehow, it's fine. Whatever you feel like it. Rhodes Rants is I'm the same thing. I missed one of my biggest problems with my channel, and I've said this to many people, was that I tend to talk about these trends too late, these trendy topics, because I'm always debating whether I should. I'm always fighting with myself. Do I want to do this? But if I don't, this could be something good for my channel. But do I really want to say something because I want to give like I'm not even going to mention the razors, okay? The razor company that put that commercial. But you'll notice I didn't talk about it. I thought about it, but I didn't, because I thought if I talked about it, I'm giving in to what they wanted, which is free advertising. Screw them. They don't deserve it. So I stayed away from it, and I won't even mention their name. I think I said something about I said something about Chic or their competition over, and I wouldn't talk about them. because I won't say their names, because why do they deserve my free advertising? Screw them. Here they are. They're gonna troll us and then get free advertising on top. And so when I saw people outraged about this commercial and make 5 or 6 videos, again, growing their channel because people were outraged, and that outrage leads to views, and views lead to more growing your channel. I stayed away from it, and I thought, and then sometimes I kicked myself too, because I'm like, shit, I could have grown my channel more. I could have done it. I could have done it with other stuff too, but I didn't. I made one video, or I don't make, and then I stay away from it. But it's like I can't fault people for doing in this, and it's like it's a hard life, it's a hard world, and I can't fault people for taking that road if it feels it benefits their channel, because pretty much they just want to do what they love for a living, and they don't want to go to the grind every day. And so they're making that decision, and I can't fault people for their decisions and about that. But I will say though, that don't act like you're any better than they are. That's my only thing. Just don't shave. I use a straight razor, a straight blade, like Crocodile Dundee pretended to do, just with a knife, just like that's how I do it. I just can't stand Brie Larson, so why the F do I want to waste 100 hours on editing time on her? But if it hurts my channel, not doing it. Exactly. I thought the same thing. I mean, I did a few Brie Larson videos. But I had real animosity. I wanted to talk about it, but they weren't all against Brie Larson either. Some of my videos were actually in defense of, not defense of her, because I never defended her, but I did say that, a lot of the rage about her was being taken out of context. And I just think she's a stupid person. She's just a dummy. And I think we take, and I almost feel like you're listening to a dummy and giving her credence. She just seems like one of those girls that, like, oh my God, I just so totally, but like they'll say whatever the hell they say, and they don't really mean what they say, or they don't know. I mean, the girl comes out against 40-year-old white men, and yet she's marrying a white guy. I mean, or married to a white guy. So, she's a big phony too. I always thought she was a phony. No shaved Wookiees. That's objectifying. Yeah, the Wookiees are going to shave his armpits. That's the only thing that a Wookiee is going to shave. Just that was the worst commercial ever. Wookiees shave their armpits just like us. Everything else is just hair. Maybe his mustache too. He just shaves the mustache and the armpits, and there's just everything else, and just bald spots here and here. Yeah. The thing I really do, and there's another complaint that I do have against the YouTube stuff too, is that we have a group of people who are like consistently complaining, who have a lot of views, complaining about, oh, I just lost views and I'm not being monetized, and I'm just, what's going on? I need to be monetized. And I'm like, what do you think is going to happen, guys? What do you think is going to happen if you continue down this road of anger and rage and animosity? What do you think is going to happen? Do you keep peddling this stuff? Do you think that companies are going to want to associate their brand with your rage? No, they're not going to do that, because a lot of these companies aren't going to. And so YouTube knows this. YouTube, they make money off of these companies. You don't think YouTube makes money off of Disney? You don't think YouTube makes money off of these people? They want to make money too. And so here they're saying to you guys, keep peddling your rage or your animosity and your anger all the time, and just keep fueling it. But you think you're going to get away with that for a long term? You think YouTube isn't going to catch wise and say, listen, YouTube probably gives us a ton of money. Sorry, Disney gives us a ton of money to advertise their movies, and now you guys are coming out here on a daily basis and looking for things to get upset about, as opposed to letting the things happen. You're looking for things, and now they look at your channel and they say, well, you're a rage, you're creating animosity and hate, and so they use a loophole in whatever their system is to not monetize your channel. And but you're hurting everybody else, because not everybody is doing that, and we're all going to get lumped into the same thing. So now, if my channel doesn't get monetized because they consider Shaney Entertaining a hateful channel, or Rhodes Rants won't get monetized because they don't feel like, because his channel is associated with the Fandom Menace, and so we're all going to be put on a list somewhere. And that's not right either, because we're not all the same. Walmart and Coke ain't going to advertise in my Screw SJW's video. Well, yeah, they definitely won't. I mean, they may. But at some point, there's a lot of companies that will stay away from this. Unless the tide turns. I mean, if the tide turns and it's now popular to be an SJW hater, then they will. They will advertise. It all depends on the trend and the wind. If the wind switches to more lucrative to be poor for something or more lucrative to be against, they will change accordingly. But yes, because we hate garbage. If they make Star Wars R-rated, I want a Tusken bloodbath in episode 2, and I want to see younglings die. Like, kill the younglings. Just heads rolling of all young Jedis. Frontman, yes, because we hate garbage. Good stream. Just popped into leave like can't stand love. A good journey, everyone. Yeah, thanks for popping by, Toriel G. Thank you for being here. You're always supportive. She's like the mama I never had. I don't know how your age is. I just said that. I hope you don't take offense. Or adore. So yeah, I do think we have to hold everybody accountable for all this stuff. We really do. We have to hold people accountable, whether they're against or for. And because that's kind of what I want others to do. I would like SJWs to hold their crazies accountable for their own shit. If there's a crazy SJW that comes out and starts ranting and raving about stuff that is ridiculous, I want to see like I would love to see SJWs come out and against the Batwoman, or even feminists come out against Batwoman, because that's going too far. I mean, at some point that hurts your message. When you get that crazy, you're hurting your message. You're making everybody else, the moderates or the people who really want to fix something, maybe look bad. So like that's not helping anything when you have these kind of things on both sides happening. So we kind of have to hold ourselves accountable for a lot of this stuff. But a lot of us are afraid to, because we're afraid our channel is going to get shunned by the rest of the Fandom Menace or whatever. And I'm not against the I'm pro Fandom Menace. I just think we have to hold ourselves accountable and being angry when it's necessary to be angry. But to be consistently looking for things to be angry for is not helping. And that's what I feel a lot of channels are doing. So yeah, guys, I don't know. I don't know. It's funny because I go back in my head to say sometimes, do I want to see things fixed? And that was the second part of this, is like, should we? I think we want to, in our hearts, see good things happen. I do want to see Star Trek fixed. I do want to see, fixed, done well. I'm not even going to say fixed, because I just want it to be seen done well. I want to see Star Trek being done accordingly to Gene Roddenberry's vision. And so when Picard came out and was like, oh, Picard's getting his own series, and I'm like, again, they're using you guys. Hold back the excitement, because they're using Picard, they're using him, and they're using us to create a series but they're really not caring. They're not caring about the product. They don't care. As if they cared about the product, they would care about what the fans think of the product. But all they're caring about is trying to get as many different fans from different areas as they possibly can. And they're not doing it with actual content and being, anything in mind. I gave you a shout out, T, one of my last videos. Not sure which one it is. Yeah, guys. By the way, before I stop doing this, check out Rhodes Rants. His channel, he's really awesome. He's always on top of things. He's one of those guys that seems to be, he has these little insiders. He gets the news. And I like his channel. Go check his out. Go check out Toriel G's channel, guys. Go check out Black Hat Cinephiles channel, guys. We should also support each other a lot through this. And this is the thing too, about we should also be supportive of each other. And I've always liked that our community is supportive of each other. And that's the one thing I like about it, is that we do support each other for the most part. To be fair, the left also constantly looks for things to be outraged on, kind of ironic. But again, most of the fandom's rage is a reaction to the rage that they look for, but had a very good point. No, I didn't say we were the only ones. I did say we both do it. The left and the right, or the people who are we both look for rage. I mean, they'll take what one Fandom Menace guy says and like a little part of his and they'll call us all sexist based on his statement. Well, they'll look for things and they'll manipulate the truth to fuel their anger and their agenda. And that's and that's what they're all doing. Even these articles that I'm talking about. You think these articles are real? A lot of these articles I'm looking and I'm going, this is a clickbait article. They're just trying to get us angry. They're trying to get people to their article, and whether it's us being angry about it and talking about these articles, because how many times have you seen these channels advertising these articles by reading them? And so you have these guys who I don't think deserve a voice half of the times, because some of the stuff they talk about was so ludicrous and stupid. But you're talking about it because I need to do a video every day or 2 videos a day in order to appease the gods of YouTube. So I got to come up with everything, come up with something. Great stream, brother. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining. I stream for this, guys. Like I make a lot less videos than I used to. And I make a lot more streams now than I did before because I like interacting with you guys. I feel like interacting with people, it makes me a better speaker, and I think that it's more fun to me, and it's easier to do, a lot less editing involved. But I'm working on a whole bunch of stuff, guys. See, that's another thing too. I like people who like creating content too, because I like to talk and I also like to create content of my own, which is good. We have to do a balance of what we say and what we feel, and and anger or whatever, and also positive stuff, and create and show that we're more than just rageful, angry people. Even though we do get mad, I get mad. I get mad as hell. I'll tell you what. That was, to me, it was just Mickey Mouse doing Hank Hill now for some reason. I'll tell you what. Hank Hill doing Mickey Mouse would even be funnier. I tell you, I'm running Lucasfilm here. I tell you what. Now I'm just off the rails altogether. So anyway, guys, that's really all I had to say about all this. I think I'm going to repeat myself if I continue going on. If there's anything else you guys want to talk about, anything you guys that I left out, let me know. As far as our YouTube channels are concerned, guys, I feel this is a thing. Now, the Raptors just won the championship, and I know you guys don't care, and that's fine. I'm not saying it because I'm trying to rub it in or anything like that, and I don't care. Dude, please explain it as you would a child. Star Wars, how did they manage to fuck this one up? It's very simple. Their goal was never to make something good. Their goal was always to infuse an agenda of, at least the second movie was. And that's how they fucked things up. They fucked things up by not understanding the franchise they had, and not understanding the fans, and not listening. You can easily, and I'm sorry for people who think you can't fuck Star Wars up because it's impenetrable. I disagree with that. I've always said, and that's why I was, when people's hearts and emotions and love are into something, those people are the hardest to please. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, but I'm the hardest on Spider-Man than anybody else is. I'm actually very hard on Spider-Man because I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Godzilla. And when you're a fan of something, you get much more passionate about it, and you're harder to please. I think that's one of the reasons why. But what they did was beyond that. What they did was not even just trying to please the fans, or being unsuccessful with pleasing the fans. They went to the degree of actually trying to almost tell the fans, thank you, but no thank you, go to hell. That's pretty much what they did. And it does blow your mind because it's kind of like, how do you fuck it up? But you can, and they did it. Lucas's kids scene, they showed like 12-year-olds old Padawan getting killed. 12-year-old Padawan get killed. But did they actually show the death? I don't even think they. No, they didn't show the death. The old trilogy was hard, and that failed. Not the old trilogy, the prequels, not failed. It was successful in the theater, but I think it could have been better. I think, it's not Star Wars. When you have the love of something and the passion that we have, it's much harder to please than it's, so there's a lot more to mistake. That's why when you try to take risks, J.J. Abrams was smart, came out without taking any risks, and I think that was a smart approach because you want to play it safe in the beginning. And that's what I kind of was like, always admired his little take. Even when he did Star Trek, I admired it as much as I didn't like what they did to Spock. And I'm talking about the movies, by the way. As much as I hated what they did to Spock's character, I thought the fact that they changed the timeline sort of made it palatable for a lot of us Star Wars geeks, like in sci-fi, to go, well, it's a sci-fi explanation at least. So we can kind of, deal with that and twist our mind to sort of accept it in a certain way. But which I think it was kind of a hard balance to do, because Star Wars and Star Trek are like religions to a lot of people. And so and talk about religion with anybody, even if you're in the same religion, you get people arguing over the interpretations of this and that. Black said, I don't know whose kid it was, but it was that kid who was fighting impressively, but he was outnumbered and outgunned. But yeah, I want to see movies get back to where they used to be. I want to see new stuff happen more than I do even, like when they're going to come out with all these, He-Man now, it's going to be the next one. Which, mark my words, guys, do you think I love He-Man? Do you think I love He-Man? Masters of the Universe? And I'm watching that with a very careful, close eye, because I really want to see that done well. And I'm already know that, it doesn't look so good already. And Sony's doing it, so that's already got my eye up like that, because I'm already thinking, I love He-Man, and what they're going to do is they're going to try and get me in that theater with the title He-Man and the Mansplainers of the Universe, because I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. They're going to call us a bunch of mansplainers watching this movie. Gotta go, guys. Talk to you later. All right, man. See you, Almighty Chupacabra. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you being here. So yeah, I when I look at these franchises, I say to myself, I want to see them because a part of me and my nostalgia wants to see them return. But I have no faith in anybody doing this. I don't have faith in anybody anymore. I don't have faith in them. They're good for us to talk about, but when we really want to see good movies and things done properly, I don't have any faith in any of this. And that's why I have no faith in any of these franchises getting fixed, because they don't understand what made them good in the first place. So anyway, I'm going to leave you guys with that at this point, because like I said, I think I'm just going around in circles at this point. So thank you guys for watching my live stream. Had a good turnout. I really appreciate you guys coming here. Going to give a channel update. I'm working on something pretty special. I'm working on something special as far as I'm concerned. I'm creating my own content. So I hope you guys appreciate. So it's what I'm doing right now is I'm working on my own little show, my own series. I've already did a test. It's called Shaney's World. You can check it out. And I'm kind of expanding on that idea and that concept, and trying to make an actual series out of it. Because my dream has always been to be an actor, comedian, and so I'm putting that. May the old force be with you. Yeah, screw the new force. The old force is where it's at. The old force be with you. That's what we should have. That's the new t-shirts. May the old force be with you. I like that. Someone's got to make a t-shirt with that. That's going to be the thing we pass around. May the old force be with you. So yeah, and I hope you guys look forward to that. It's going to take a lot of my time to do because I'm actually working on a show that involves a lot of production and stuff. You dressed in all black as a gangster. I like it. All right, look at that guy. This is my jam. This is a movie I want to see done well, and I know they're not going to do it. Unless I take the reins. Now, I want the reins on all this stuff. I'll fix it. You just leave it to me. But yeah, so just so you guys know, if you guys are looking for why certain videos are not making as often as I was before, is I'm working really hard on this. This is something like it's a project of mine. It's something that I really believe in, and I hope that I know your death by saber. I know your death by saber, Mr. Record. And I know you don't like me saying Mr. Record. Yeah, check out Death by Saber's channel too. He just has some really new videos that look really cool. And I might as well throw out a bunch of other ones like Fan Addicts of Film. Check him out. Check Opinion out. Check all these guys out that, well, Opinion needs to get something going. You mean Laser Sword. Death by Laser Sword. You should change the title. Death by Laser Sword. Yeah, so just so you guys know, I'm working on that, and I'm putting a lot of effort and a lot of my heart into this project. It's going to be its own series. It's going to try to be funny. It's going to be creative in my Shaney, entertaining sort of crazy way. Think Seinfeld meets Pee-wee's, not Pee-wee's Big Adventure, but what was this show? I don't remember what was the name of Pee Wee Herman's television show. It was pretty much that. Something like that, similar. So it's going to be fun, and it's going to be 3-part series, and then more 3 parts and other, so it's going to be done in 3 parts each time. So I hope you guys appreciate like that. I'm working on that, and so yeah, and that's what I'm doing right now. So just letting you guys know that stuff, and Death by Saber is going to be part in it too. And I'm getting other people involved as well. I'm asking other YouTubers to yeah, Pee-wee's Playhouse. That's what it was. It's Seinfeld meets Pee-wee's Playhouse in some weird conglomeration mix-up. Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate you being the brainy yin to my dummy yang. All right, guys. So I'm leaving right now. I'm going to say goodbye, and not goodbye, but just farewell for now. All right. Thank you for watching, and have a good night. And I'll see y'all later. Rocco's Modern Life. Remember that one? Rocco's Modern Life. I don't remember Rocco's Modern Life. Man, you know a lot of things that I don't know. Front man. You're going to have to send me a whole bunch of links and catch me up. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.